Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Please hit that subscribe button. If you like the way that any of the topics, subjects, headlines, events are being broken down, reviewed, recapped, discussed, analyzed, all engagement would be immensely appreciated. Share the video, hit the like button, leave a comment. I'd love to chop it up with you. Got to get into some bite down boxing talk. Please check me out over at www.bitedownboxing.com. Got some write ups on last night's Summer Series fight or card on ESPN from the bubble at the MGM Grand Conference Center, Grand Ballroom. Um, the main event was Alex Saucedo, super lightweights. Alex Saucedo and Toledo, Ohio's Sonny Fredrickson. Saucedo, a former number one ranked by the WBO, and Sonny Fredrickson was top 15, I believe, in two of the sanctioning bodies. One being the IBF. He won a WBC like junior title. The Federball, I think, was what it was called a while ago. So I'll get to them in just a second. Bite Down Boxing presented by PMNM. I gotta tell you, man, this boxing stuff, getting my feelings for a minute, get moist for a minute. My cousin told me. I settled in for the fight last night. Hashtagged a couple of things, put something up on Instagram, and I was enjoying the IPA with the evening's fights, and got like 5 or 6 likes from craft beer enthusiasts or craft beer accounts. Didn't get a single freaking like from a boxing person, and that just shows me how bullshit boxing is. Look at some of these. Looking at the numbers, the viewership numbers of what we've been getting over the last 2 or 3 weeks, despite the fact of everything that Top Rank is trying to do, uh, and the fact that fighters are working and being enabled to chase their dreams, earn some money, take advantage of a chance to fight. Isaiah Jones just fought 2 weeks on 2 weeks in a row from out of Detroit. Got a win last night after taking a pounding from the Russian kid a couple weeks ago. A big puncher. I can't remember his name. But boxing is interesting, man, because you literally have to get out here and run with claims that Tyson Fury entered the ring in February, late February, with anvils, literally with an anvil in his glove to be able to take down Deontay Wilder, and has maimed him, permanently maimed Deontay Wilder's head. And Marcelo goes out here and says that the autopsy said XYZ. This is what you got to run out here with in order to get somebody to pay attention to this shit. And the funny thing is for me, and I'll move on to the fights in just a second, but if all of this stuff was true, if it was true, this would be a criminal matter to me. We wouldn't be talking about a trilogy fight and a third fight and getting payback and revenge. That would be a criminal matter in my estimation, in my point of view. The other thing here is that I'm just dumbfounded that that's what we can spend 3, 4, 5 months later talking about that type of situation, when it's easy to go back and get a proper investigation to get this addressed, and we don't have to beat around the bush anymore. How would this be any different from right now, from wanting Big Baby Jarrell Miller to be banned from boxing from repeated incidents with testing dirty for PEDs, How is this any different with Tyson Fury? Why wouldn't you, being a guy that repeatedly cheats, according to some, in the eyes of some, in the opinions of some, why would you want him to continue to be able to fight and earn big time money? Why would you allow him to go in and face anybody else in the sport of boxing, and to put somebody else's life on the line? Why would we be talking about future fights? It'd be a criminal matter. The last thing I'm gonna say about that is, when you go into that ring, you entrust your corner, the referee, and the other fighter. It's a silent agreement between everybody that your life is in their hands. You trust them in the event that you become defenseless and can't protect yourself, that the referee intervenes, or the person, the opponent doesn't, completely hit you with full power when you're totally defenseless. And so I'm saying, if you break the sanctity of this arrangement, this agreement, we're in here to fight, to beat each other, and get the job done and get the win. But to come in here and endanger my life, my well-being, and my livelihood, we're not talking about boxing anymore. That's just common sense to me. So for some of the individuals running with this story and keep putting videos and 20,000 views, 60,000 views, I guess that's what you got to do. And poor old Alex Saucedo, and even poor old Sonny Fredrickson, just two dudes in there wasting their freaking time. But let's get into it, man. Sonny Fredrickson, I would just say, if he fought like what he did last night, if he fought like that against Samuel Tia in his last fight, he would only have one loss on his record. I felt like some of the areas that I was concerned about with him, I thought he addressed those things last night and improved those things. Looked better in those areas. The only problem was, when you nearly get doubled up in punches landed. I think Saucedo was credited with like 340, 330 landed shots, and Fredrickson was only credited with like 172 or something. When the differential is that big, that large, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get a victory. And when you can't punch with somebody for whatever reason, and I understand, they brought it to my attention. I kind of forgot about it, but Fredrickson took this fight and was not able to train in his normal gym. I completely, didn't think about that. And who was he sparring and everything? Like, are you even working in a ring, on a daily basis? But boxing doesn't care about that. Nobody cares about that, to be honest. I really think that Sonny might benefit from working with Tony Harrison in this regard right here. First of all, hell of a chin, heart, grit, determination, a valiant effort from him. To be outpunched that badly, outlanded that significantly, and to find his way out of the first 3 rounds and be there, in the 7th round with the fight hanging in the balance, that's a testament to his determination. But it's got to be more about winning than just surviving and making a trip and getting on TV, so on and so forth. And I know he put forth a hell of an effort. But if you can't outpunch or punch with your opponent, you got to do some other things to give yourself a shot. The way that he was getting caught with that jab in the first 2 or 3 rounds, definitely in the first round, it happens. But, the 6th jab, the 7th jab, you got to start defending that. Parry it. Slip some stuff. And use your length. Fire your jab back and catch a shorter fighter coming in. And the why I said to work with Tony Harrison, you got to be able to slow that guy down. Like I said, you can't allow a man to throw 150 more, 170 more punches. Then you have to figure out a way to slow him down. Clinch him. A couple years ago, Anthony Davis dropped 50-something points on Andre Drummond, and at the end of the fight, at the end of the game, Andre Drummond had like 2 fouls. I'm saying this because how would you let a man drop 57 or 59 points on you, and you only have 2 fouls? Same thing here. How can you let a man run away with the scoring on you, and the referee Tony Weeks never has to step in until you stop holding? Like, it's not a bad idea to clinch a guy, after you've moved and moved and moved. And that's the thing. 1 to 2 times around when you're laying on the ropes and a guy is unleashing lengthy, multi-punch flurries on you, you got to stop that. If you can't spin him off the ropes, turn him and put him into the ropes, if you can't use that tactic, grab him. Grab him and make the referee and walk him out to the center ring or something. You have to break up a guy's momentum. I am friends with the team. I have a relationship with the team. Coach Wright did a great job last night. I'm not trying to be unfairly, critical. This is about trying to figure out a way to win these fights. Even Andre Ward last night mentioned something about, he said it flat out that, Fredrickson isn't a strong fighter, a physically strong fighter. You got to work on that. You got to figure out a way to improve that. That was one of the reasons why Shojahan Ergashev attacked Fredrickson the way that he did. He felt they taunted him at the weigh-in of how little he was or small he was. You got to figure out a way to improve that strength and be able to and increase your physicality somehow. But Fredrickson had his moments. He got his uppercut going. This in the article, I covered it more in detail. I think it was in the 7th round. I think he tried, or maybe the 6th. He tried to open the round up and stand his ground, let his hands go more, be more violent, be more. And that's the thing. I felt like he would go for 10 seconds or 15 seconds and then kind of like wait or search or think. And I think he needed that next 15 to 20 seconds continuing that to really turn the tables and get back into the fight. And I just feel like Andre Ward said it perfectly, that he would have a great moment and then it'd be 10 punches from Saucedo. That's just the footage. That's what the footage says. I'm not making this up and trying to pile it on a guy. Again, going down the stretch, he was there, but he didn't have enough, to really outwork Saucedo over the last 2 or 3 rounds. And, the 100-90 score was a little harsh. 99 or 98 to 92, again, when the punch stat is what it is what it was, and a guy nearly doubles you up, it's gonna overshadow, you're being tough and having a good chin and showing a lot of heart. Effective punching and effective aggression and punching is the key scoring criteria. And like I said, he just needed to find a way to extend those bright moments, take it from 10 seconds to 25 seconds to 30 seconds. And but I think a lot was learned. 140 is tons of work there. It's some of these different guys that are going to need veteran and seasoned opponents. And I hate for Fredrickson to be resigned to being an opponent, but now with 2 or 3 losses, you got to fight your way back into being, to being the house fighter or the money fighter, or that's the reality of boxing. But I hope he's not demoralized and not discouraged, man. You can get back in there. Saucedo, just had a better plan. Saucedo thought he was going to get him out of there in 5. And, the kid weathered a hell of a first 2 to 3, 2.5 rounds and fought he fought, and you deserve some credit for that. Josue Vargas, as you heard, his father broke the for a cup of coffee. His father violated some of the protocol out there, the coronavirus protocol, was not able to corner his son. You could see the Josue was really sensitive about that, bothered by that. I'm not gonna call that man moist, but he couldn't even talk through it with Bernardo Osuna when he asked him about it the 2 times in the pre-fight interview. No biggie in that, man. It's a big moment. He's another guy at 16-1, I believe, and needing to get himself into. It's a super lightweight is a hell of a division, especially if Jaron Ennis comes down there, if Virgil Ortiz, which it doesn't look like he would consider sticking around there, but the 2 unified champions there, 140 is a good division. And Vargas made a good statement in easily handling Salvador Briceno last night. Just completely outclassed him. Great, just consummate boxer. Didn't have the power there to really get Briceno out of there, but the footwork, used his legs beautifully. Got lazy and got tripped up in a couple of spots, but that'll happen. But beautiful boxing. And just what the coaching that I heard last night from Chino Rivas, a phenomenal communicator, handles fighters very well. Coach Wright impressed me last night with what he was trying to get accomplished with Fredrickson, and Josue ran away with his 10-round decision, and I thought it was a great night. Shout out to Isaiah Jones out of Detroit getting that victory against Stubbs. And that's it, man. Let me get on off of here. I didn't even really want to talk this long for the 5 people that are going to catch this. But I do it for the love. Bite down boxing, man. Sonny Fredrickson, I always say, man, don't let them count you out. Keep at it. It's not over. I know you'll be back. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Have a phenomenal day. 1.